don't think it's crazy. I think it's very brave and may take longer to do because there's so much potential in the schools, and I think that it's an important bridge so that there's an investment from all aspects of the community so that everyone sees that this is their project. And I think sometimes when it happens outside of the school or outside of a partner, there's not, you're not getting every constituent.
So the public school system and major orchestras make up a large amount of the population in a community, and to exclude those two entities, you're going to be excluding many, many families that aren't connected, through their children. They're all in public school.
I still think that that's an important connection to show that what you're doing benefits the schools and that they have a responsibility to be somehow contributing. Because when everybody contributes, there's a sense of investment.
And if your goals are providing for children, advancing, creating good citizens in a community, I would argue that orchestras really share that vision.
I think in smaller cities it will be much easier to do this, to work by yourself. In larger cities it might be a different story.
I would just really think about why would you not want to partner with these two huge players in your community, considering that they make up a huge part of the landscape.
It's very hard. Every day is a struggle.
Yeah.
Because the vision is different. I want to see the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra be a social organization with music attached to it. But the Baltimore Symphony's goal is to produce concerts.
Yeah.
And that's what they do so well.
With the big organizations like symphony orchestras and school districts, they have a lot of resources that can be used. However, at the same time, they have a lot of red tape. A lot of problems to go through, everything, from their boards to what they traditionally do.
When you're starting your own organization, you are really a pioneer. And your vision will be seen, I think, more. But there's no reason you can't start with an organization and then branch off from that organization at some point as well.
I actually think you could design a very successful Núcleo without partnering with a huge organization like an orchestra or school system.
You could win with the situation of partnering with them, but at the same time, you have a lot of things to work through.
And what I found is that the positive outweighs the negative when you're dealing with another organization.
I think there are a lot of smaller community organizations that would be very interested in working with you, and I think you could, in that way, be able to really get in on the ground level and work in a very sort of close, personal way with a smaller organization.
If you're dealing with social organizations, how great is that? Because it's a social program. They know more about that. They've thought about this way more than we have in the symphonies and the conservatory and all that.
I also think you could really start out of thin air if you wanted to take on the challenge of soliciting and getting kids involved in a program without any support structure. I certainly think that would be possible.
This is a social program, so I think you're right on with that. So you're still dealing with an infrastructure of a pre-existing organization. You're getting all the benefits of that, but you may not have to look at, you may not have to confine to the constraints of an archaic institution.
I would encourage you to kind of go the middle road, which is to find a small organization that's not affiliated with an orchestra, that's not affiliated with a school or a school district, that is on board with the vision and really looking to partner with an individual such as yourself and wants to build a program.
In the case of Baltimore, or the case of the New England Conservatory, this is not archaic at all. The fact that they're allowing us to explore this thought and actually do this is phenomenal.
You would have to spend a lot of time working out your resources. You'd have to spend time finding space. You'd have to do the advertising to get the kids involved. You'd have to get all the parental support and get your teachers on board. You kind of would be building from scratch, so that certainly would be possible.
It's almost like we're starting a new branch of a symphony, like a social service aspect of a symphony orchestra.